So, do you remember New Super Mario Bros. DS? Well, I sure do, and I spent a lot of time playing that game. I got that as one of my first games growing up, and I remember completing it over and over, 100%ing it and getting all the star coins. But I also remember spending a fair amount of time playing the mini-games in that game. They all had their own unique little gimmicks to play around with, and each of them were themed after their own characters, even though, sadly, Waluigi wasn't a slot. I had a lot of fun playing the side modes in that game, but another side mode that was really fun was the Versus mode. You and a friend can connect your DSs wirelessly and basically go head-to-head playing Mario vs. Luigi, collecting power-ups, stomping on enemies, and trying to beat the stars out of each other. Now, what are the stars for? The stars are basically the main collectible for this game. So what your goal is to basically get more stars than the other person by either the time running out, the other opponent losing their lives, or getting the cap for how many stars there are in the game. All of the modes are fun, but at least for me, the default mode to play is to see who can get to 10 stars, and keeping as many lives as you want on. But I guarantee other people would like to play it in other ways. Now, I wish that there was a way for me to play this online with my friends, and probably with more than just 2 people. Well, that's where New Super Mario Bros. Versus comes in. Released on March 18th, 2022, and developed by iPod Touch 0218, this game was made in Unity, and it ports a lot of animations from the DS and Wii games. It basically recreates the engine one-to-one how the DS game felt in Unity, and it's amazing. So, the best place to find this game is on itch.io, where iPod Touch has uploaded it themselves, so you know it's a legit copy. You can either pick to play the game in the browser, or you can download it. Personally, I have had terrible luck trying to play it through the browser, and everybody that I recommended it to, whenever they tried to play it through the browser, it sucked, and it did not work. So, I recommend just downloading the game. So once you get the game, you can get up to 10 of your friends to play it with you. Now, even if you don't have up to 10 people to play it with, you can join public rooms, which are usually pretty busy during the middle of the day. And even if you still want to play with 10 people, and let's say you only have a couple friends, you can always invite them first and then have people join the lobby after. The game is very flexible with its lobby system. And honestly, I haven't seen a lot of connectivity issues. Yeah, there's been jittering here and there, but most of the time it's dependent on the one person who's having the issues, and it doesn't affect the rest of the people. So I would say that the internet's pretty good, even when you have 10 people that are kind of from different places. Now, for the stages. From the original game, we had Grassland, Bricks, Pipes, Castle, and Ice. But for New Super Mario Bros. Versus, there's been stages added by iPod Touch, which are Jungle, Sky, Volcano, Desert, and Bonus. Now, honestly, out of all of these stages, the new ones are probably better for a lot of people. Jungle is a very horizontally focused map, and the placement of the mini pipe is actually useful. Unlike some of the other stages where it's just kind of like a gimmick and a place to hide, it's actually a way for you to get away from people, and it still leaves you vulnerable. The sky level is very vertically open, and you can do triple jumps, you can do wall jumps, you can slide off of ledges and fling yourself all across that stage. It is a very rewarding stage if you're good at movement. Volcano is a good stage for kind of splitting up the people and, you know, kind of having like two different battles going on without everybody being on the same playing field, because Volcano's got a giant split down the middle where there's a bunch of holes for people to go onto the top layer and for people to run across the bottom layer. So I found that when you're playing with like around 10 people, you should definitely play on Volcano or Sky. The desert stage is pretty fun for getting used to doing ground pound launches, which I'll talk about later. And it's also pretty fun for just having like a mediocre small group of people playing. And the last custom stage is Bonus. This stage is pretty cool, and I really like the aesthetic of it. It's got a giant red question mark block that spits out a random power-up, and it's pretty fun, especially for playing it for the first time and letting everybody kind of play with the power-ups and they want to get used to it. It's kind of fun to just keep giving them that. And for one thing with the original stages, is the castle level is kind of a nightmare to play on. It takes forever, especially with the ceiling constantly going down. Your matches will end up taking way too long if you do not set a time limit to that, or setting a stock limit, because trying to play that with getting the most amount of stars is not fun at all. Now for how to play, New Super Mario Bros. Versus has a lot of different options. So you're able to set it so that when you pick 8 coins, it gives you a power-up. That's usually the default. And it kind of gives you power-ups depending on what your place you're in, kind of like Mario Kart. But you can change that. You can only pick up 3 coins and get a power-up, or you can pick up 10 coins and get a power-up. You can switch that to your own desire. Same thing with the star count and lives and time limit. You can change all that stuff so that you can make the lobby exactly how you want. And another cool thing are the skins. This game has a lot of skins for Mario and Luigi. And I'll show some of them off here. And for the last customization, there's custom power-ups. So, New Super Mario Bros. DS did not have the Ice Flower, and it didn't have the propeller suit. So they basically imported those models from the Wii and made it so that you can use those in the DS setting. Now, since you can't pick things up, and there's no twirl button in the game, there's a custom button that you have to set specifically for those items. And if you don't want to use that and you want to keep it straight to the DS experience and you don't want to use those custom power-ups, you can always just toggle it off. But honestly, it feels more fun that way. The only thing is that the propeller hat is a bit broken on some stages and just kind of allows you to drill spam and not let the other people play. But as long as you guys aren't doing that and you're not playing in a public lobby, it's not as bad playing with them. Now I wanted to talk about two mechanics that really help out with your movement, and especially when you start getting at a high level with friends in this game, you're going to want to use these. So the first one is a ground pound launch. Basically what you do is you just ground pound on any slope in the game, and before you land on a flat surface, you hit jump, and it'll send you flying across the stage. It is super good to keep momentum, because as soon as you do that slide jump, as long as you keep jumping on the ground repeatedly and you don't hit a wall, you can keep that speed. And there's a lot of stages that actually help with that. And the second mechanic I want to talk about is a ground pound cancel, which is basically you jump in the air and you ground pound and you hit up on your D-pad or analog or keyboard or whatever you're using, and it'll cancel you out of that animation and basically put you in a little free fall state where you lose all of the momentum of your ground pound. You can use it to juke people, you can use it to bait people into wanting to jump on you, you can use it to stall, and you can also use it to get down places further, but if you press up it'll cancel the ground pound animation, so you don't have to worry about hitting the ground and getting your character back up, because that does take a little bit of time when you're getting chased. And I just wanted to talk about a couple of the settings too. So for the fireball, you can make it so that it either shoots while you're sprinting, or you can toggle it to a separate button. Some people may prefer that so that you don't have to keep letting go of the run button while you're trying to shoot people. There's also another button for the extra reserve item slot, which is basically what you would normally tap on the bottom screen on the DS, but since there's no bottom screen and it would kind of be a pain to click the item, they just put it on a button. And the other button is for the custom power-ups, so if you need to pick people up with the ice flower, or if you want to use the twirl with the propeller suit. Now, a couple hopes that I would have for this game is I would kind of like this game to get more characters, and especially more stages. I would love to see Toad and Wario and Waluigi, because I feel like those characters could get some cool skins. For stages, I feel like they could pick so many different tile sets, and we could even get like Sonic stages or just any kind of stages, or even let people make their own and host them on their own servers. And one last thing that I would like for this game is I would like more power-ups, even if the power-ups aren't from like the actual Mario games, because having more power-ups in multiplayer definitely splits up the playing field for what people can do and how the matches can turn out. Well, anyways, I just wanted to talk about this game, raise some awareness, and give you guys a quick rundown of all the stuff in this game, because it's really fun, and I would encourage plenty of other people to play it, because it's a pretty fun party game, and it's free. So thanks for watching, and have a nice one.